We have so much to get to today, so let's go ahead and get started. First of all, we're talking about portions of the East Coast that are going to be dealing with the potential of seeing some flash flooding today, even some severe storms. Speaking of severe storms, a bit stronger storms are expected to return to portions of the northern plains into portions of the Midwest today. Monsoon season is in full effect in the Southwest. We're talking extreme heat, especially in the western half of the country. And unfortunately, the risk of seeing some more wildfires in portions of the western part of the country as well continues throughout the day today. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jessica Fernandez. I'm a meteorologist that worked on TV news for 7 years. Now we made this weather channel so that we can get into all things weather, so make sure that you go ahead and subscribe. First things first, it is hurricane season, so we got to start off with an update. And the good news is that there's no tropical cyclone activity expected in the next 7 days here in the Atlantic Basin. Now, what are we dealing with throughout the day today? Two systems, one along portions of the East Coast, the other a bit more towards the north and west. That's going to be bringing the chance of seeing some storms, and some of those storms could even be severe. We're also talking about flash flooding. Starting off in the East Coast, we already have showers and storms along the entire area. And even today in portions of the Northeast, we're talking about a chance of potentially seeing some severe weather from portions of New England into portions of, for example, New York City. And we're also talking about New Jersey and even Philadelphia. There's a 2% chance of maybe seeing an isolated tornado in this area, including New York City. And the other risk of these storms is going to be the chance of seeing winds over 60 miles per hour. Now, flash flooding is really the main concern for me with these storms and also this rain in general. And that's going to be along the entire East Coast throughout the day today. We're talking levels 1 and 2 out of 4 of seeing some flash flooding. Even as we head into tomorrow, and most of that rain really concentrates in portions of the southeast, that flash flood risk is even going to continue. And on Wednesday, once again, from portions of the Tennessee Valley into the northeast as well. Now, the stronger severe weather threat throughout the day today is really going to focus in portions of the northern plains into portions of the Midwest. In northern Minnesota, especially, and even into a small portion of the Dakotas, there is an isolated tornado risk right around 2%. So it can't be completely ruled out. And there's also a chance of seeing 1-inch hail in this same area as well. And for this entire area stretching into the Dakotas and even Nebraska, and of course Minnesota, we're also talking about winds over 60 miles per hour with the storms we're expecting today. So taking a look at the future radar here as we head into the morning, we're talking about showers and storms, but I really think that the stronger storms are going to ramp up later on today as they move towards the east in this entire area. So we're talking about late afternoon into the evening. There is a flash flood risk over here as well, and that's also going to be the case as we head into tomorrow and this rain starts to move towards areas a bit further towards the south to include Nebraska, Iowa, and even into portions of the Great Lakes. Even on Wednesday, as this activity continues, we still will have the chance of seeing some flash flooding to include places, for example, like Chicago, and the risk goes up a bit to a level 2 out of 4 risk. Now, switching gears a little bit, we do have to talk about the extreme heat in western portions of the country. We're talking about a ridge of high pressure that's going to be dominating this area throughout the day today and even into portions of the next couple of days as well. Lots of airs are going to be in the triple digits and even the 90s into the desert southwest, the California valleys, and even into portions of the central plains as well. Now, for areas a little bit more towards the north, especially because we are going to be dealing with a cold front moving through, things are going to cool down there. However, if we go ahead and zoom into portions of the southwest, once again, we are talking about those triple digit temperatures across a big portion of, let's say, the southwestern quadrant of the United States. Today, we're talking about potential records, over 9 potential records. For example, Denver expecting a high of 101 when the record is 100 there. Kingman, Arizona, 105 when the record is 105. Colorado Springs, 98 when the record is 99. So getting very close to that record for today. And of course, speaking of the West and speaking of the heat, we also have conditions that are going to be favorable for wildfires to start and spread rapidly. We're talking about very low humidity humidity in portions of the west. In addition to that, we're also talking about some gusty winds that are going to be impacting this area as well. And because of that, we are talking about that fire risk that is going to continue throughout the day today, especially because we also have drought conditions here. So that's going to give us that fuel that we need for wildfires to spread quickly. So please make sure that you are avoiding starting any fires outdoors. I know that this sounds very obvious, but we're talking about even something as simple as throwing a cigarette or even doing a barbecue outside could spark something like this. So let's make sure that we avoid that. Now, talking about the West, we do have to talk about monsoon season throughout the day today. Because of the rain that we're expecting, we are talking about the potential of seeing some flash flooding in portions of New Mexico, as well as Arizona, especially down here into Tucson. And even as we head into tomorrow, that risk is going to continue. And that's also the case for this upcoming Wednesday. Some of these storms could even be severe throughout the day today in portions of Arizona, even into portions of New Mexico, to include a place, for example, like Tucson. So that's something to definitely keep in mind throughout the day today as well, even though the chance is on the lower side. So that's all for today. Please make sure you comment, like, subscribe. I will love you forever. Thank you so much for joining me once again today.